South Wales is a ray angler's El Dorado, with a variety of famous venues packed into a relatively compact area. The region boasts healthy stocks of thornies, spotteds and small eyes, but it's the muscular blonde rays that are the major draw for ray anglers from all over the country, including us, Mark Reed and myself, Ben Conway. You can catch blondes from the shore in our home county of Cornwall, but they can be tricky to target successfully, so much so that my mate Roy Moore had never caught one. Roy was driving up later in the day to join us and hopefully catch his first ever blonde. To boost our chances, we'd enlisted the help of local fishing guide Gareth Griffiths, or GG for short. What GG doesn't know about tracking down blondes on the South Wales coast isn't worth knowing, and we'd given ourselves the best possible advantage by getting him on board. Mark and I had met GG down at the Nap in Barry for a quick morning session and clocked up a few spotted and thornback rays already before heading over to Sully Island where we met up with Roy. Mark, Roy and I were enthusiastic about our chances at Sully as the place looked so fishy, but the fishing was actually quite slow with just dogfish and a thorny coming to the rods as the tide dropped. Over the low, Roy narrowly missed landing a nice codling as the hook pulled right as GG went to land it. As the tide pushed, Roy began to come into his own though, landing the second thorny of the session. GG said that we would know a blonde if we hooked one, as they tend to come up to the surface early on in the fight. Sure enough, as Roy lifted into his next bite, we all kept a keen eye on the water for any sign of disturbance. We weren't disappointed. A good-sized ray broke the surface well out and we all knew it was what we had come for. Roy's first ever blonde. GG took care of the landing, safely guiding Roy's prize onto the rocks, and finally, after decades of catching everything else under the sun but a blonde ray, Roy had finally broken his duck. Roy's blonde signalled the end of our session as the tide was beginning to push us off the island. GG gave us the word to pack up as we would be heading for another mark called the Monkey Tump. It was here that I took the opportunity to pick GG's brains further on how to tackle the blondes on his home stretch of coastline.
At this time of year, we fish for the blonde rays between Monknash and the sands bit of Sully. Most of the marks we fish for them are over low water, but there are a few high water marks in between, like Friars Point. Where we are now on the Monkey Tump, we get a few. And then we also catch them off the Nap in Barry. You do get a few down at Witch's Point, mixed in with the small eyes and the spotteds. As the water temperature rises at this time of year, they seem to come in on the feed for a few weeks, then they'll go back off the feed for 2 or 3 weeks, and then they come back in numbers all the way through up until October, November. And then it seems to be like December, January, February, don't get as many. We do to get the odd big one about. On a few of the marks, on the low water marks that is, you do need a decent cast to catch the blondes. And anything from, I'd say 80 to 120 yards puts you within, a good chance of catching them. I have seen the blondes on the sand spit of Sully. I've seen a lad have one around £20 in weight, which was a good fish, and that was only out 20-30 yards. But generally on the low water marks, Monknash, the Spit, Stout, the Frogget, Summerhouse, do need a good, a decent cast to get it over the rougher ground in close onto the sand. But then the high water marks off Friar's Point, Nell's Point, I have seen them caught much closer. So yeah, as long as you can hit a decent distance, you're in with a chance of the blondes. The rigs we're using is a 8-foot pulley rig, total length, set of 4 tamers, whole mini bluey with a squid wrap, 7-ounce lead. The mono's yellow, it don't really matter up in this end of the channel what colour line you use. The water's like chocolate, so it's not going to put the fish off at all. And yeah, so we're casting this maybe 70 to 100 yards. Nice mud bank out there. The further you cast the better, because that's where the rays are sitting on. First bait we're going to do is double anchovy squid wrap. Just snip the tails off the anchovy, nice slither of squid, keeping everything nice and streamlined. And then some medium elastic cotton. Try not to cotton too much in one area. Just keep it nice and neat. And there we have double anchovy squid wrap. Next bait we're going to do is a mini bluey with a squid wrap. Snip the tail off, slip it in line with the eyes. Again, a nice slither of squid, not too thick, keeping everything nice and streamlined. We have perfect blonde ray bait. I'd use a 7-ounce lead with this size bait, stop it spinning in the air. For the smaller baits, double sandeel squid wrap, you can use a 6-ounce, but I always use a 7 or an 8-ounce lead, depending on the size of my bait, just to stop it spinning in the air, tows it through the air a lot better, a heavier lead. We'll move on to a sandeel squid wrap now. Nice slither of squid. 2 medium sandeel, just snip the edge of the end of the tails off, put them up the squid. Again, some nice medium cotton. Well, that's a double sandeel squid wrap, smaller bronze ray bait. You can use a smaller lead with that, or a lighter lead, I mean, a 6-ounce. Right, you'll catch most ray species with these baits, up this end of the channel anyway. You'll get your thornbacks, blondes, spotted. A little bit further down the channel we use the double sandeel squid wraps mainly for the small-eyed rays. The blondes will take them up here, but I prefer up this end of the channel using the whole mini bluey with a slither of squid on the outside. You're going to use your 7-ounce leads for your bigger baits, and then you can put your 6-ounce leads on for your smaller bait. The heavier leads stop the bigger baits spinning in the air. So yeah, hope this helps you in some way, but that's the way I do things.
Right, definitely going to come back here again. Definitely.
What do you like about it?
It's hard to explain, isn't it? It just looks fishy as. Fishy as. There'll be one here in a minute. My name on it.
Yeah.